bass players. I'm kind of keeping it quiet right now, and there's a reason for that. This quick video is all about what I do when it's late. My wife is sleeping over there a ways. My daughter's sleeping just up there, floor up and one room over. And if you know anything about the bass, you know that you plug this thing into an amp and everyone is going to hear it, no matter how close or how far away they are. If you are in the same house, they are going to hear these frequencies no matter where they are. So this is what I do when it's late, when it's the only time I get to practice during the day, when I can't crank the amp. We're going to take an exercise out of my book, The 10-Minute Manual. It's actually one of my main go-to things when I want something simple, when I want to work on time and sound, the two most fundamentally important things we can possibly work on as musicians, regardless of what instrument we play. We're going to take exercise number 12. It's called Bebop Approaches. Out of this, we're going to take the 4-string. I'm going to dig in for about 10 minutes and see how far around the neck we get, see what damage we can do in terms of maintaining some consistency in the practice routine. Again, no matter what time of the day or night it is, you get to practice. There are obviously dozens of other exercises in this book, The 10-Minute Manual. It's all linked below. Signed physical copies like this are available from my website. Physical copies, albeit unsigned, you can get at Amazon. You can get the digital version. You can even get it all bundled now at the new store. It's all linked below. It contains standard notation, bass tab, play-alongs, you name it. The exercise we're working on is called Bebop Approaches, and it takes a little cell of a major scale and then adds a chromatic approach note to get to the starting point of the next cell. That's sometimes a chromatic note from above or chromatic note from below. I'll play it for you first, get it into your ear. It'll make way more sense to hear it rather than have me explain it in detail. So as you heard, some of those chromatic approaches are from above, some are from below, and we go up and down. Right here we don't change positions, we end up with a nice little button on the end of the phrase, and that's it. It's really that simple. Really the only two things when I have very limited amounts of time to practice, especially when it's late. I don't want to be going to bed after midnight. I know I've got to be up at 6:30 in the morning, just like most people who have families that are watching this. This one's for the families. This one's for the mums and dads out there who still want to maintain consistency in their playing. This is what I get into, just 10 or 15 minutes of this all around the neck. If I can do this once a day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, or just whenever I get to my next gig, I feel so much more confident when I pick up the instrument than if I just leave it. If I just say, it's 10 right now, 10:30 at night. If I were to say, you know what, I'm just going to skip it tonight. Just try and push into that 10 minutes with something as simple as this. It will do you so much good in the long run. At least that's my experience to this point. We're going to make sure we do it in all 12 keys. Now, if you're watching this wearing some headphones, you're probably hearing exactly what I'm hearing. I'm just wearing headphones. I have no amp. I have no speakers going on. This is as silent as it gets in terms of practicing at the house. It's not ideal. There's no way to substitute that live sound, that feel of the amp. I think playing on headphones isn't the healthiest thing if that's all you do. But if this is the only option, I'll take it every single time if it means I can get the work done when I need it. feeling pretty loose. Although I haven't practiced all day today, I did something similar to this at a similar time last night, and that has been the case for several days in a row. And that has led me to get to this point of picking up the instrument completely cold and already feeling pretty good, already feeling like I'm okay to practice at sort of a medium tempo where you hear me playing this idea. Now, I don't feel like I need to start. I don't feel like I need to start down there. I've been using this exact line for a couple of days. That's another kind of key point of consistency, is to use the same thing a few days in a row, really embed that into your playing. And there is, of course, the thing of, okay, you don't practice what you already know in order to get better. But in terms of this, something I do already know, and I'm not really working on getting better per se. I'm not working on a new idea. I'm not writing. I'm not practicing music for an upcoming tour or recording session. Again, this is all about time and about sound and consistency of those two things in my playing. So in that sense, playing something I already know is not a bad thing at all, and it makes it kind of simple. It takes the guesswork out of what you need to practice. And again, if you have this book already, it's exercise number 12. It's called Bebop Approaches. If you don't, or no matter what book you have, whether you get this one or whatever material it is you're practicing, try using the same thing for 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, maybe even a week. Just set yourself the goal of, oh, I'm going to play this idea for a week. If you really only have 10 minutes a day, it really takes a lot of the guesswork out of the note selection and helps you focus more on time and sound, which I really, really believe in the long run is so much more important than the note choice to your playing. It's going to give you feel, it's going to give you confidence, it's going to give you a connection to the instrument and ultimately a unique voice. So when people hear you, they say, oh man, that's that cat. That's no one else, that's that person. So that's about my 10 minutes up of practice today. Not only was I able to practice the instrument a little bit, I was also able to share that with you. So really give time the respect it deserves. There's way more to be had out of a short chunk of practice time than perhaps you've been given it credit for in the past. Again, all the books are linked below. I'll see ya.